Joyeux Noël et bienvenue à Québec. This is our next stop in our Christmas travel series where we show you some of what North America has to offer for Christmas travel destinations. Join us as we find out what makes this historic Canadian city special. Quebec City, or Quebec, is one of the most historic cities in North America. The capital of the Quebec province, Quebec City lies at the mouth of the St. Lawrence River, in French, Fleuve Saint-Laurent, which also flows through Montreal. This area is the heart of the French-speaking Canadian world, with less than 2% speaking English as their first language. But don't fret, the vast majority of people speak at least some English, so you should be fine. Founded in 1608, the city is over 400 years old, and it is the only fortified city in North America north of Mexico. All this history is interesting, but the important thing to note is that this is essentially a European city transplanted to Canada, and a gorgeous one at that. With old world architecture influence, Quebec City is beautiful year-round. When late fall comes around though, the city turns into a stunning winter wonderland. With snow days occurring over half the month of December on average, Quebec will make it so you don't have to dream of a white Christmas. And thanks to those strong European ties, Quebec City goes all out for the holiday. Most of Quebec City decorates for Christmas, from garland on the window to a building made to look like a present, but the most iconic area is Old Quebec and its surroundings. This is where most of the European-style buildings are located, especially the most photographed hotel in the world, Le Château Frontenac, which is a surprisingly affordable place to stay. This is probably why it fills up so fast. On Terrasse du Ferrin, the terrace overlooking the lower parts of town and the frozen river below, they have a giant slide for toboggan runs that can go as fast as 43 miles per hour, or 70 kilometers per hour. As with most things in Old Quebec, even the slide is old. It was built in 1884. From here, most of the popular winter activities are easily accessible by foot, including the German Christmas market, in French, Marché de Noël à la Mode, which is filled with stalls brimming with German food, German drinks, and craft products of all kinds, from winter hats to glittery bath bombs. Down below Château Frontenac, you can see Petit Champlain, the historic cobblestone-lined mini neighborhood filled with bistros and boutiques. The tight streets and picturesque architecture, filled with hanging lights and Christmas trees galore, really brings home the feeling of a European Christmas in Canada. To get to this area from the upper Old Quebec, i.e. Château Frontenac, you have to travel by the funiculaire, an elevation of 282 feet. But the best way to go, if you're able, and it isn't dreadfully cold and icy, is to take the few sets of stairs from the terrace down a steep street with handrails, and finally down the picturesque breakneck stairs, built in 1635. The name is pretty misleading though, since they're safe and not terribly steep. There are levels on these stairs to step aside and take the perfect Instagram selfie. Well, at least that's what it seems most people do here. Following the road adjacent to the river, you get to explore more of lower Old Quebec, including Old Port. At Vieux-Port, they have an indoor Christmas market with some fantastic local products, from produce to maple syrup. The French name for this market is, and I'm gonna mess this up, Marché de Noël du Marché du Vieux-Port de Québec. You don't have to remember that, especially since you only need to know it's in the Old Port Market. This area also has some pretty neat views, from all the boats on the frozen slips to the sights of the city with Château Frontenac looming above. Oh, and the beautiful Gare du Palais train station, built in the same style as Frontenac, is right next door. Heading southwest of Old Quebec, there are a few more sights to see. The Christmas decorations continue up Grande Allée, the beautiful tree-lined Champs-Élysées of Quebec. The coolest part of this area during the Christmas season, for me at least, has to be the beautiful park-turned snowscape of the Plains of Abraham, Plaine d'Abraham. The hilly plateau, when covered with snow, turns into a sledding and cross-country skiing paradise. As someone who sees about 3 to 5 inches of snow each year, the park is awesome. They also have some ice skating further up Grande Allée in the Plains of Abraham. On the Old Quebec edge of the Plains of Abraham lies the Citadel, which can also be reached by following the Terrasse du Ferrin to a walkway that wraps all the way around to the plains. There's also a museum describing the battle from 1759 between the British and French. The final site to really drive home the idea of winter wonderland is Montmorency Falls, a giant waterfall 50% higher than Niagara. The mist from the falls causes the surroundings, including the walkways, so beware, to become covered in ice. The falls are in a little cove with views out to the river, so this is a great way to see the rugged beauty of Quebec. without having to drive too far away from this beautiful city. If you like snow, plenty of decorations, and gorgeous cityscapes with your Christmas travels, this may just be the best destination in North America for the next holiday season. Thanks for joining me in Quebec City, a beautiful European winter wonderland in Canada, and hope to see y'all in the next one. Alright guys, if you enjoyed that video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and subscribe and hit the notification bell for more content like this. And let me know in the comments down below what you think of Quebec City. See ya!